Everton versus Tottenham at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, game week 9, should be a great game. Stay tuned to the end, because in this match preview I'll be giving you my thoughts going into the game, stats in terms of head-to-head stats and general insights, score prediction, preferable lineup, predicted lineup, you name it. So make sure you stay tuned, keen to get you involved too. If you're new, please like and subscribe. Let's get straight into them. We'll start with team news. So got a piece here from Thomas Frank. Let's start with his piece on Christian Romero. He said Kuti was just out running on the grass, positive and progressing, no time frame, but there we go, not a long one. That's what he had to say. He was asked on Destiny Doggy. He said Destiny is not on the grass yet, but still progressing. Again, not a long one. And Dom is positive, he's taking steps in the right direction. He was on the grass on his own today. There we go, so that's positive. But on the game in general, before I give my thoughts, just some stats. Top scorers of both sides in the Premier League. And Dyer is for Everton with 3 goals and assists. And for Tottenham, Richarlison, exactly the same, 3 goals and assists. Both played 8 games. Everton then have scored 4 goals in the last 5 matches, but haven't kept a clean sheet in 5 matches. Ilman and Dyer is the most shots on target per match for Everton with 0.8. Tottenham scored 6 goals in the last 5 matches, ranked first away from home this season. Mohamed Kudus has created the most big chances for Tottenham Hotspur with 2. So both teams' form coming into it. Everton and Tottenham, it's both mixed. Starting with hosts Everton at the new stadium, it's 3 defeats, 1 win and a draw for Everton. And for Tottenham, it's 3 draws, a win and a loss. Hill Dickinson Stadium, where the capacity is 52,888. It's expected to be 11 degrees and rain. Sunday, the 26th of October, the game, 4:30pm kickoff UK time. It's the last game of game week 9, Premier League round 9. Referee, English referee Craig Pawson. It's available to watch on Sky Sports Football and Sky Sports main event. In the table then, Tottenham find themselves at this moment in time 7th place at the time of recording after 8 games, 14 points on the board, and hosts Everton in 14th with 11 points on the board after 8 games. Head-to-head stats then between the two sides. Everton have won 6, Tottenham have won 13, and 12 have ended draws. But if we zoom in just on the Premier League, it's very similar, with Everton winning 5, Tottenham winning 13, and 12 ending draws. But if we zoom in on all competitions, but Everton at home, of course, all of this at Goodison Park, Everton have won 5, whereas Tottenham have only won 3, and 8 have ended draws. So Everton getting the upper hand against Tottenham at home, but maybe not in the past. I would say that Everton's form against Tottenham isn't very good away from home. I think that is something to know. So before we get into predicted lineup and preferable lineup and everything like that, let's give our thoughts ahead of the game. So I think this could be really tough. I'll just say, for me, it has everything on it to be a potential banana skin without being too negative. I think Everton have been a very good side under David Moyes. They're competitive, they're a lot better, and I think they've come on leaps and bounds since he's been reappointed. I think it was a fantastic decision. So yeah, banana skin this has written all over potentially for Tottenham if they're not careful and we don't perform at our best, because we haven't been at our best in the last few games. That's reality. We need to hit those heights again, and we need to be defensively sound. I think going here without 10, 11 players through injury is not ideal, not an excuse of course, but it does make it a little bit more difficult for us, particularly in defensive positions. So let's get into predicted and preferable lineup. If you're not clear, predicted is what I think Frank would go with, and preferable is what I would go with. So firstly, my preferable team is on screen, what I would go with if I was a Tottenham Hotspur manager. So this is a pure and hypothetical. So Vicario in goal, I'm going to read out the team and then I'll explain it. Spence right back, Gray left back, Danso and Van der Ven as the centre backs. Hear me out on all of this. Paulinho in the 6, Sarr and Savi in that kind of joint central midfield role, Kudus on the right, Odegaard on the left, and Colomwani up top. So that's my team. Firstly, I think I really need to explain this. Defence, I think that's critical. You'll notice there's no Porro in there, and I'm a big Pedro Porro fan. I've banged that drum for a long time, but he's played an awful lot of games like he did under Ange Postecoglou, and sometimes as a player you get to a point where you break from playing too many games, and I think we cannot afford to have this. But realistically, I'll get onto my predicted team in a minute, but it's not going to happen at all because Pedro Porro, is a key player for Tottenham, and we have two fullbacks unavailable through Udogie and Davis, as we were just finding out in the team news. With Udogie, he's out, as well as Ben Davis, who sustained an injury on international duty. So Tottenham have their hands tied, but for me, I'd keep that same kind of, not same back line, but the same in terms of Van der Ven and Dancer as the centre-backs and Gray starting at left-back. And my thinking behind this is Iliman Ndiaye should start on that right-hand side and Jack Grealish should start on that left. And my thinking is with Porro is mainly rest, but also what's Porro's weakness, as much as I like him, it's defensively firstly, defence or attack. He said defence is his weakness, in particular 1v1 duels. But what's Spence amazing at? 1v1 duels. So, and he's going to be going up against Jack Grealish on that left-hand side. So, it's either Porro or Spence that will have to deal with Jack Grealish. And I think Spence can keep Jack Grealish in his pockets. So that's why I'd start him at right back. Archie Gray left back to deal with Ndiaye. He's got a real problem on his hands, yes. But I think Gray done very well in that position against Monaco. To be clear, I still think Gray's a midfielder. That's his best position. But, it's not my choice. It's the club's choice to go into the season with just 3 fit centre-backs and, go into it with 3 kind of 4 fullbacks, with only three of real quality. Midfield then, Paulinho as the 6th. I think it's been no-brainer. I think his tackles are really important. And I go in Sarr and Simmons as, well, I'd have them as 2 kind of, almost like 2 10s to be more attacking, but I'd kind of call it 2 central midfielders, to be honest with you. So I'd have it as more of a 4-1-2-3, which we're absolutely not going to see. Needs to be a bit bold. Need to take the handbrake off. Paulinho and Bentancur great together, but do a similar role, and it's far too defensive. We cannot afford to do this against the defensive side. Against Everton, we'd be punished for not taking risks, in Thomas Frank's own words. Sarr, I think, is very good when he plays centrally, so he has to be in that 10 or some kind of central position. I think he's where he really thrives, and it hasn't been the same since coming back from injury. He hasn't really got the chance. But looking, Simmons, big game from him. Can he produce? I would start him in this. I think there's a case to start him on that left-hand side. But you'll notice I started Odobert on the left-hand side, a player that's really banging form at the moment. I say banging form, maybe it's a bit extreme, but the point is he's improving game by game and growing in confidence. Kudus on the right-hand side is a no-brainer. We've got to make sure we don't get him injured. We're playing him too much as well. And Colin Warney I will go with up top because he, come off the bench against Monaco, and I think he's nearly ready to start. Again, whether it happen or not, I don't know, but that would be my team. So it's a 4-1-2-3. Big difference then, change over the screen to predicted 11s. This is what I think Thomas Frank will actually go with. I think he will go with Vicario in goal. I think his start Porro, I think it's a no-brainer with having 2 fullbacks out. He'd argue this is not the time to rest or rotate or drop, whatever. Spencer left back, I think you go with Van der Ven and Dancer as the centre backs. Bentancur, Paulinho in midfield with Papsar in the 10. Simmons on the left, Kudus on the right, with Richarlison down the middle. So defence I don't have to say too much about. Porro is increasingly likely to start the game. I'm almost convinced, certain that will be the back line, even despite Gray's performance in the week. I think it was just purely a case of stepping in and doing a job just for that game. Bentancur and Paulinho will start together for that defensive solidarity away from home. I just see that happening. Sarr in the 10, I do think Frank will go with that because Bergvall didn't really make his case against Monaco. It wasn't his game, still real gem and had a good start to the season, but it wasn't his best game against Monaco. I think he'd be the first to tell you that. Kudus on the right, I think no-brainer. Richarlison down the middle against his former club. I think Frank would be thinking about that, and he's our starting number 9 at the moment. I think Frank hinted that it's too soon for Marnie to start games. He's close, he's getting there. In other words, it'll be Richarlison as a number 9. I actually think it starts Simmons on the left. It isn't working for him at the moment in the 10. And when you've got so many midfield options that we have, like in the 10 or in the 8, it makes sense to put Simmons on the left, give Odobert a little bit of a rest because he's played a lot of games. That's because he's doing well, so it's credit to Odobert. We don't want to overload him. There we go then, that's predicted then. My preferable lineup, we've gone through both most recently predicted lineup, so let me know in the comments below, firstly and most importantly, what will be your lineup if you're a Tottenham manager. But by all means do predict Frank in the comments below, which is very hard. It's good to have a manager in a way, as difficult it is for us YouTubers to predict per game. I'd rather that, because if we I do videos every day on Tottenham, if I can't predict it, then maybe other managers can't. It's my thinking. I've nowhere near the knowledge or anything of them, but the point is, you hope that we're not predictable, because we shouldn't be as predictable as we were under Ange. But score prediction then, I hate to be negative. You know me, I hate to see Tottenham lose, and just to be very, very clear, I really, really hope I'm wrong. But you know me, I'm honest, and that's, me, like it or not, is your choice. But I'm going to go with 3-1 Everton, and I really do hope I'm wrong. This is nothing against Tottenham or Thomas Frank. I'm fully on the Ange train, fully on the Frank train, moving on from Ange, I meant to say. I just thought of him in my head. I don't buy this Ange and Frank comparison. Very happy with what Ange has achieved at the club, but recognise it's the right time now, looking back, to move on. Really happy with what Frank's done. And I think we will flourish this season, but I just think this is a real kind of banana skin for Tottenham, unfortunately. I don't know what it is necessarily. I just think Everton away, Everton have an okay record with us there. Hill Dickinson Stadium, they're unbeaten at so far this season. It's been a little bit of a fortress for them, something we want the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to be. So I'm going to go with 3-1 Everton, because I think Porro will start. I think Grealish should get a brace going up against Porro. Nothing against Porro, I just think Grealish is very good, and Porro's not up to the same standard as Spence in terms of 1v1 duels defending. This will cost Tottenham and Thomas Frank. So I think that'll pile a little bit of uncomfortable conversations, because the performances haven't been there recently. There's been a few iffy results too, but still fully behind Frank. I've just remind people that, he's just come in, it's always going to take time, and I agree with Frank, give himself time. He said it himself. So I hope I'm wrong with those score predictions. And yeah, I think Grealish brace, I think Ndiaye will score, and I think for Tottenham, Kudus, or maybe Simmons will get his first goal. I'm undecided on that. But thank you so much for watching. Hope I'm wrong with my prediction. But apart from my awful prediction, hope you enjoyed the rest of the match preview, and hope you enjoy the game and Tottenham win. Come on, you Spurs. If you're new, like, subscribe to the channel.